Up there we go again. I don't know. I hope I'm still recording. I might switch devices because it just keeps on. And I'm not recording all this stuff all over again. I'm not. I kind of started just to record it, regular recording, but I elected to do live. When I commit to do something, I see it all the way through. So I go live during the weekdays, and I record on weekends. But I'm having technical difficulties because it's like it's saying my signal keeps dropping. All right. Bailey Investment, a greedy land development company, is trying to take her property away from her. Is situated right in the middle of I was trying to share the GoFundMe information. I might have to do that. The GoFundMe was initiated on May this year, 23. Chelsea Grace. It didn't say the name of the GoFundMe page. So you have to just do your Googles. I was trying to put out the information because she still had the GoFundMe up, so it's still not too late to help her out. They still need $350,000 to save her property. So if you got any type of money, go to her GoFundMe page and donate. And her name is Josephine Wright, and I believe her GoFundMe is under her granddaughter's name. Yeah, I think her GoFundMe is under her granddaughter's name. I'm clicking the GoFundMe, it's not going to it. Yeah, her GoFundMe is under her granddaughter's name, Sharice Graves. So go to Sharice Graves' GoFundMe. It's for her grandmother, Josephine Wright, and that's to save her property. So they have a goal of $350,000. They got $270,000 so far. So they need just a little bit more help. All right. So join me into giving a warm narrative podcast round of applause for Brother Kyrie Irving for sounding off for the cause. All right, next on the Narrative Podcast, next section, or next article, the headline reads, Black barber from Ohio goes viral for giving free haircuts on the street to people in need, and the barber's name is Jay Hughes, better known as Jay the Barber. Jay told the news the money, when asked why is he doing it, he said, I'm not tripping about the money will come. It's not about the money, it's about the people. Um, and he is right to a certain extent, on so many levels. When you love what you do, when you're passionate about what you do, the money will come. He likes cutting hair, so therefore he feels he's not missing out. He got customers that's not going to complain, actually. So his skills, he can hone his skills like that on, homeless people. And then also, it's all about making the people, he goes on to say it's all about making people feel good about themselves. And, especially with our people, we don't like looking like we just rolled out of bed. That's just not instilled in our nature to be like that. And if you see any one of us looking like that, we're going through something, so reach out and try to, break the ice gently, because that's usually like a kind of a call for help. By nature, that's just not like us to not keep ourselves up. Yeah, that's is definitely, he got his heart in the right place, and he's going to be very prosperous in life and as a businessman. Noble deeds, no noble deeds go unseen. And he's going to, forever reap the benefits of that. Because that's something we kind of, as a community, kind of forget about our people, disenfranchised and destitute. That's hard when you're without home to keep yourself up, to keep your hygiene intact. And it's like, if you're homeless and you're trying to look for a job, like how you going to look like, how you going to get it if you look like you live on the street? Every once in a blue moon, an employer might take pity on you, but, you got to be able to ace the job interview. So that helps. A fresh cut helps. And it does wonders for your self-esteem. So, unless you're trying to grow locks, unless you're trying to, have a long hairstyle, you need a fresh cut. So give it up. Join me in giving up a Warm Narrative Podcast round of applause. Here we go again. I think I might have to switch devices, because I keep on seeing this little network problem saying I'm not getting the signal here. And it's like, the first time I saw it was like it was recording in different sections, like the whole segment didn't upload at once. I'm tempted to stop just to see how much I got, because I don't want to do like last time, talk for a whole hour and then have no content. But anyway, I'm gonna try to power through this relatively quick, because like I said, like this is take two. Because when I went through it, I had an hour worth of content. I try to keep my podcast at about an hour and try not to exceed 1 hour. And so I just got through talking for 1 whole hour, had no content. When I went back to share it on online. All right. So take two. I know what I'm gonna do. All right, I got something for this little. You wanna act a fool? I got something for you. I got something for you. I know a way I can still upload without doing it all over again. All right, here we go. Problem solved. Okay. So, going on to the next part. Where I just leave? Okay, the barber. Next section. Headline article reads, 3 black entrepreneurs own 38 grocery stores and just received $13.5 million to buy 6 more. It feels like I kind of did this one before. So if you're an avid listener of the Narrative Podcast and you say, hey, saying to yourself, I think you did that one before, I probably did. But I saw it again in my timeline and I thought it was cool. So I wanted to share the information. It seems familiar to me. It seems like I did share it on a previous one, but I'm not for certain. But anyway, I'm sharing it this evening. The brothers' names are Michael Nance, and this other brother is, I'm guessing he's Nigerian or something of African descent. Ademola Sadiq. And the last brother's name is Walker Brumskin. They're the founders of Yellow Banana. They're a Cleveland, Ohio-based retail firm. They own and operate 38 stores, and their revenue is $130 million a year, or $130 million in excess. Whatever in excess means, they got it. 130 million of it. So the company started in 2021, and they're still going strong. So that is definitely something that we need, especially in our communities. A lot of crime that transpires in our community is because most of our neighborhoods are food deserts. So we're not getting enough sleep. We're not getting adequate food, and which leads to, criminal type behavior. A saying that I often say here on the Narrative Podcast, you can't create a monster and then cry when they burn down the village. And what I mean by that in this instance is like, with how they do us as far as like food deserts go, like in the hood you would see like a corner store or a bodega with out-of-date products and processed foods at that. So they're selling us liquor, selling us processed foods with no nutritional value. We're not getting enough sleep. We got oppression going on around us. And then, no fresh produce nowhere around us. And then, you wonder why crime is happening in our neighborhood. But they seem to rectify that by opening up the grocery stores. They have an initiative. They're trying to go nationwide. Their goal is to have one in every, at least one of their grocery stores in every state in the United States. They're planning to take this nationwide. And I'm crossing my fingers for these brothers because we need to eradicate these food deserts, and that will, take down a lot of this crime that's happening. Because we need grocery stores, and preferably grocery stores with fresh fruit, fresh juice bars in them. With the cold pressed juices. But join me into giving them a warm narrative round of applause to these three brothers. All right, moving right along. The next article, the headline reads, Pamela Smith makes history as Washington, D.C.'s first ever black female police chief. Mayor Muriel E. Bowser announced and appointed her. So that's always monumental. The system is corrupt. The laws are not designed for us, nor is law enforcement, but it's always, heartwarming to see and witness brothers and sisters that get into that profession and legitimately have the want, their intention is to bring about change, to make an impact in the community in a positive way, and, keep everybody safe, to actually serve and protect. But, the system is corrupt, police officers is corrupt. That was never designed with us in mind, but it's always refreshing to see a brother or sister get in that field with noble intentions. And so just like being a woman, being an original woman, keep our fingers crossed that her intentions stay noble and she can do, all she can do in that position. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. Let's clap it up for Mrs. Pamela Smith. I usually only have 2 or 3, but it was a good news week for our people. And see, that's something that they're always trying to program and condition us into believing, that nothing good ever happens. I got all kinds of good articles tonight. Next article, the headline reads, 71-year-old man graduates from USC with a master's degree in teaching. And the brother's name is Leroy Harley. He's a Bowman, South Carolina resident. He went on the path to teaching with inspiration from his mother. He wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do. With his life after he graduated. So she said, why don't you become a teacher? He ended up becoming a teacher's aide at Bethany Bowman Elementary School. And then ultimately, after so many years as a teacher's aide, he decided to become a full-fledged teacher and get his degree in teaching. So it's never too late. We definitely need more teachers in public schools, but we also need just our own school system. We need schools, all black schools in every state in the United States at all grade levels, from K grade all the way, to college, traditional 4-year college. We also need vocational training centers, because, even with all this digital technology, even with all this AI, those professions, those vocational skills professions are never going nowhere. We're going to always need bricklayers. We're always going to need electricians. We're always going to need carpenters. We're always going to need people to operate heavy machinery. We're always going to need people that can perform facility maintenance, like mow the lawn and keep a rental property up, keep hedges and stuff. Because while they are building robots to do all that stuff, it's just they're lacking the human factor. No matter how closely they mimic humanoid mannerisms and actions, as they say, your heart's not in it. So to do in those professions, it requires humans. I don't care how far they progress robotics. You're never going to replace humans in those fields ever. Because like the thing about robotics is humans build them, so humans are flawed. So therefore, robotic technology, AI, that's never going to be complete because we designed it. So when they break down, you're going to need a human being to fix them. I didn't mean to go on that side tangent. I just wanted to point out we need more teachers. We definitely need our own school systems. We need our own colleges, elementary schools, middle schools, and vocational training centers. But let's give a Warm Narrative podcast round of applause up for Mr. Leroy Harley. All right. So next on the Narrative Podcast, next article, the headline reads, "The Army veteran set to graduate with a college degree just a day before his 80th birthday," and the brother's name is Willie Riles. He's graduating Florida A&M University with a degree in development and research. So I'm not quite sure what the study of that is, but he got it. He's on his way to getting it. And he's had a very convoluted path to get there. So originally, he dropped out of school in high school. And then upon dropping out of high school, he went to the armed forces to finish his education, get his degree, high school diploma while he was in the Army, but then got discharged from the Army just 2 years after enlisting. And then he just been on a trek to find himself, what he wants to do in life. One trade skill after another, one job after another, and then finally he got it together and he graduated. So it's never too late, never ever too late. As long as you stay on your path, you will finish. So let's give a Warm Narrative Podcast round of applause up to Mr. Willie Riles. All right, moving right along, y'all, on the Narrative Podcast this evening. I believe, we're at the end, y'all. Last article. And the reason, I guess I kind of skipped why I do, did I already? No. Well, it's take two, so like I did it. So if I say it again, I share these positive articles to deliver positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. So that's primarily the reason why I do it. So yeah, um, so last article here on the Narrative Podcast. Bernice King, daughter of the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, makes history opening Utah's first ever black-owned bank. Um, Let me just see. Right on quick. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So Miss King, in conjunction with Ashley Bell, a former advisor in the White House, she worked in the White House as a policy advisor. Um, what else it is to say? Pooled their resources to start the first ever black bank, which is like monumental because currently there are only 17 black owned banks in the United States. Now everybody knows a little bit about finance, knows banking's not the wave unless you're doing at home banking for yourself at home. But in that same breath, if you are going to put your money in the bank, at least bank bank black, like bank with your own kind to help keep you know the original people dollars circulating in the original people community. Um, Let me just punch it up right quick. All right. Shoot, where was I? Oh yeah, I was looking up for more information. I believe the bank is called Redemption Bank. I'm punching it up now, y'all. I'm live, so thanks for bearing with me. I'm just trying to get it right, make sure I'm not putting out no misinformation. Okay, so more about Ashley Bell's resume. She's a Trump advisor and small business administrator. Black banks make America possible. Redemption. So the movement she's hoping to spark is called a bank in movement. And their mission statement is to provide a black-led bank acquisition that delivers families from the cycle of unjust financial exclusion and intergenerational poverty. So she's bringing to the table financial literacy. They're going to be having programs to teach about credit, financial budgeting. They're going to be extending loans because, like a lot of these banks does not want to give out loans for homes to black people, so they won't own a home or property. So they don't want to close that wealth gap. So essentially what this bank is dedicated to doing is helping close the wealth gap in America by, educating people about finances and giving them opportunities to raise their credit score, clean up their credit, build credit, finance homes, and finance businesses. So join me into giving Mrs. King a Warm Narrative Podcast round of applause. All right, y'all. Now on to my speaking points here on the Narrative Podcast section. This is a live edition, so my speaking point is just commentary on current events. And the reason why I deliver my commentary is basically because the media do everything they can possibly do to have us looking and sounding all types of crazy. So, what I'm doing in this section is just breaking current events down from our perspective. Whatever's going on in the world, whether it be something specifically in our community or something globally, I unpack it from our perspective, through our eyes, and what it means to us. Because if history hasn't taught us anything, it's taught us this. If you do not tell your own story, you will have your story told for you. So that's what this section is dedicated to telling our stories as a people.